everybody, and welcome to Generally Speaking, the podcast that bridges the world of pop culture and personal development. I am your host, Jennifer Snook, and I am so happy to be here with you today. I hope everything has been going well in your world. Here is what's been going on in mine. Well, so we start here. Today is a very special day in my world. It happens to be my birthday, my 52nd birthday to be exact. And I just have to say, I almost feel like I should give you guys just fair warning, because I get so emotional on my birthday every year. Like for about the last 12 years, I just get so emotional because I feel so incredibly grateful that I get to be here, that I get to be on this ride, and that I get to appreciate life from the vantage point in which I see it now, because life for the last 12 years since my perspective shifted has been such an incredible gift. And so, I mean, truthfully, the fact that I've had, I think we're going on 12 years now, or right about there, that I've been looking at life through this new lens, and every single day has just been such a glorious gift, even on the shitty days. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's true, because nothing seems insurmountable now. Nothing feels overwhelming, even the sad stuff, because I understand that everything has a place in our journey and that pain is part of the process. And so it allows me to look at life through a much more holistic lens, and with an understanding that I'm an active participant in my own experience, and that has changed everything for me. So today is my 52nd birthday. I am fucking ecstatic about it. I mean, I just an absolute joy it is to be alive. I could not be luckier. I get to be the mom of the three most incredible humans on this earth. My kids are such joys. I have an incredible family. I have an amazing partner. I have a great job. I get to share this experience with you guys. And most importantly, I live every day, just so, rooted in love and grounded in gratitude. And it just makes me feel like the luckiest person on the planet. So that is my day. And I'm about to leave here to head to the salon to actually get my hair done. And then I'm going to dinner after that. And so it has been a wonderful day so far. And speaking of birthdays, it is not just my birthday today, but I got a message on Instagram from someone today telling me that it is also Melissa Gorga's birthday today, which actually does not surprise me at all, because I love Melissa Gorga. I think she is an amazing gal. I love Melissa. I think she has done wonders for the New Jersey franchise. I think that Teresa is so lucky to have a sister-in-law like that. And I think Melissa is truly a stand-up, wonderful woman. And I am here for her all day. And I'll tell you who else's birthday it is. My favorite fast food chain, Taco Bell. So if you are a fan of Taco Bell, when you drive by one today, make sure you say happy birthday, because it is also Taco Bell's birthday, you guys. So, here's to a bean burrito, no onions, extra cheese, with hot sauce. Not mild, not fire, not Diablo, just hot. That is my order. And sometimes a crunchy taco with extra cheese. And sometimes, once in a while, a Mexican pizza. Because, come on. You can't go wrong with a Mexican pizza. So delicious. Okay, let's see what else is happening. That is what's happening in my world. Here is what's happening in the world of reality. So the Grand Dame of Potomac, everyone, apparently just got a DUI. Can you believe it? How is she ever going to explain this to her castmates? So court documents obtained by ET revealed that the 60-year-old star of The Real Housewives of Potomac was behind the wheel of her 2017 Maserati when she was intercepted by the Montgomery County Police Department in Maryland around 11:50 p.m. Huger has officially been charged with driving a vehicle while impaired by alcohol and driving while under the influence of alcohol. She now has to make a mandatory court appearance. Additionally, Huger is facing a slew of other charges, including negligently driving a vehicle in a careless and imprudent manner, endangering property, life, and person, and recklessly driving a vehicle in wanton and willful disregard for safety. Other charges include failure to control vehicle speed on the highway to avoid a collision, driving a vehicle in excess of reasonable and prudent speed on the highway, driving a vehicle on the highway with suspended registration, and failure to notify administration of change of address within 30 days. Sounds like a lot. A spokesperson for the Montgomery County Police Department confirmed the occurrence of a single vehicle collision to ET, detailing that Huger's vehicle crossed a median and collided with multiple street signs. Fortunately, Huger emerged from the crash unscathed. Let's see, what else? Authorities told TMZ that Huger was purportedly driving aggressively and at high speeds before the collision. Despite the severity of the incident, Huger was not arrested at the scene, but instead received several citations. In a statement to TMZ, Huger expressed gratitude for the outpouring of support following the traumatic event. She attributed the emotional toll of recent personal losses, including the death of her mother, Georgia Rain Wooden, to the distressing circumstances that preceded the crash. Karen says, and I quote, "Thank you for all the prayers and well wishes during this very frightening experience. I am still in shock from last night's incident, but grateful to be alive today. With the passing of my beloved mother, grief comes and goes in waves, and with Mother's Day approaching, it has felt more like a tsunami," her statement said. "Last night, I met a girlfriend for dinner. We talked and brought up some very emotionally sensitive topics. I was crying on my way home and saw a car heading right for me. I swerved to avoid the head-on collision, hit the divider, and then a tree. I'm hurt, bruised up a bit, but so grateful I am alive. I did receive citations, one of which was unrelated to the incident, which is understandable, but what was most surprising is that the car that almost hit me just drove away." As investigations into the incident continue, Huger urged fans to prioritize their emotional well-being before operating vehicles, emphasizing the importance of safety measures such as seatbelts. "I would like to stress it's important to understand your emotional state when driving," her statement concluded. "And may this be a reminder to all to use their seatbelts. My mother may be my guardian angel, but the seatbelt saved my life." Oh, Lordy be. God bless her. Karen Huger, you guys. Isn't she something? Oh, my gosh. Her mother is to blame for it, but her mother also saved her. She is something, the Grand Dame. She really is. Speaking of something, have you guys seen what's all over social media right now? There is just some big time J-Lo backlash happening, and it's nuts. Everybody seems to be coming for J-Lo right now, and I honestly don't get it. I don't see what everyone's all up in arms about. I really don't. I mean, you know, J-Lo never claimed to be perfect. Everybody's making it out like, you know, she's just this super bitch, but J-Lo's not a super bitch, and I'm sure she's not an angel. I'm sure just like the rest of us, she falls somewhere in between. So there's all on social media, everybody's like telling these horror stories about J-Lo, you know, making fun of that scene where she was talking about being 16, running up and down the street in the Bronx. And I get it. I really do. I get the fact that J-Lo has gone through a huge personal transformation, and she is remembering back to the kid that she used to be. And that might seem completely far removed from people now, but that's her reality. You know, she's not fucking making it up. That is her reality, just like we all have our reality. So, and I also saw there's this other little sidebar to it. This other guy on social media that he was like, tell me, can you give me a good story about J-Lo? Like challenging people to give a story about J-Lo that, you know, doesn't paint her in such a negative light. And anyway, the gal responded with a story that was not of J-Lo in a good light. So her thing was basically, no, I cannot, because this is my story and it's another negative one. But I would like to just step into the conversation for a brief moment and say that about maybe 11 years ago, we had not lived here for very long. And it was when my ex-husband was still living in Calabasas. And I was spending a lot of time there. And I mean, truthfully, I still spend a lot of time in Calabasas because it's, you know, 8 minutes away from me. So, I mean, my favorite restaurants are there. I'm always there. My kids all graduated from Calabasas High. So I'm very familiar with the area. And so we were obviously there a lot. And my mom and my daughter were in Ralph's grocery shopping. And all of a sudden, my mom and my daughter had gotten separated. And my daughter, Carly, was looking for my mom. And she heard her, you know, from a couple aisles away, she heard my mom speaking to someone. And as she got closer to what she could tell was my mom's voice, she realized that the voice that my mom was talking to sounded very familiar. And she walked up closer to the aisle, poked her head down the aisle, and realized that my mom was talking to Jennifer Lopez and asking her where the relish was. And J-Lo was in just full mom mode. I have pictures of it. J-Lo was in full mom mode. She was in leggings, just a loose-fitting t-shirt, her hair was up in a bun. She had sunglasses on, no makeup. She had the twins with her. They were in the, she was pushing them in the cart, just fully in casual mom mode. And there's no way that my mom would have in any way, shape, or form recognized her. But what's funny is that my mom doesn't really recognize any celebrities, like absolutely any celebrities. My mom is just completely oblivious to that whole world, except for Barbara Streisand and probably Jennifer Lopez. And especially back then, because this was when J-Lo was still on American Idol and living in Calabasas. So this was a while ago. And I remember that my mom used to always talk about how much she enjoyed J-Lo and how she thought she was such a wonderful person. And she thought she was just so beautiful. And my mom's never been into fashion, but my mom loved looking at J-Lo's fashions. And she really thought she was great. So it's hilarious that J-Lo is like one of the very few celebrities that my mom might recognize. And lo and behold, my mom looks at her and says, "Excuse me, hon, can you tell me where the relish is?" And J-Lo was like, I don't see it. I don't know where it is. And then a few minutes later, all of a sudden, J-Lo says, excuse me, I found it. It's down here. And she motioned my mom to the relish, which was what my mom was there looking for. And so my mom actually had the most incredible experience with J-Lo and walked away after. She didn't even know while she was in this exchange that she was talking to J-Lo. And it wasn't until my Carly told her, and my Carly was like at the end of the aisle and she started recording it, got a picture of it. So it was so hilarious that Carly was like, "Grandma, you know that woman you were talking to? That was Jennifer Lopez. And my mom could not believe it. And it is just so sweet because my mom has told so many people that story. And she has said nothing but wonderful, glowing reviews about J-Lo because of it. And it was sweet. And we all thought that she was nothing but wonderful for it. So, and I was at J-Lo's, last concert, and we had the most amazing front row. I mean, literally front row. I was like chest to chest with security. And I was dancing so hard, you guys, that she was probably like, bitch, this is my stage. You know what I mean? This is my show. I'm Jenny from the block. And I'm like, well, I'm little Jenny from the block. And I was just, I gotta say, I was dancing my fucking ass off. I was pretty much matching her dancers like step for step because it was just that amazing. And I was just so present and so there for it. And she knew I was there for it. And she looked right at me in the eye and gave me like a wink, like, I got you, girl. I see your spirit. And I gave her one right back. And we had a little moment. And so it was so cute. I have a picture of me and Mike at that concert, and it is just absolute sheer joy and bliss on my face. Okay, it's time for a quick break, but stay tuned because when we come back, it's time for 10 things I know at 52 that I wish I knew at 22. Well, so because today I turned 52, you guys, I thought that I would share with you 10 things that I have learned along the way. 10 little nuggets of knowledge for your knapsack of facts. And I am going to give them to you now. Number 1 is you can't fix what you're not willing to face. And actually, I would like to say before I give you these were all written and conceived by me. These are all just my own thoughts, my own musings, my own takeaways from what I've learned so far. So, okay, like I said, you can't fix what you're not willing to face. And that is the truth because denial, if denial will just keep you stuck in the system that you're accustomed to. And until you are willing to be brutally honest with yourself, nothing is ever going to change. Number 2, if you're not following your heart, you are going the wrong way. And I'm pretty sure that is fucking self-explanatory. I know a lot of people think that you need to be following your head, listen to your heart and not your head. But that's complete bullshit. You need to only filter through your heart because when you filter shit through your head, you're filtering things through a million other things because your mind will make a mess of things and you will filter your existence and your experience through those filters and it's really just a mind fuck. You need to just stay tethered to your truth and not get stuck in the mind fuck of life. Number 3, gratitude has the power to change the entire look of your life. And that is absolutely true because when you look at life through the lens of gratitude, it levels everything up. The bullshit falls away and only the important stuff is left, which is love, P.S. Number 4, as long as you're rooted in love, you can handle anything that the world throws at you. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5, life is a series of shifts. And the more flexible you are, the less life hurts. And that is true. People think that putting boundaries in place is what keeps you healthy. But the healthiest people are actually the ones who have the most flexibility, who are the most able to adapt and pivot and who are not so affected by their circumstances, who look at the big picture and do not get caught up in the minutiae of life. Pain is part of the human process. And let me tell you, this is so important, you guys, because so many people think that life is supposed to be pain-free. And that's why so many people, are intent on putting up their boundaries, because they think that they're supposed to be keeping a safe space for themselves. And the fact of the matter is that life is not pain-free. You cannot, go through life without experiencing it, because pain is there as the great teacher. It is what shows you the way to go. Life was never meant to be pain-free. In modern day society, we all think that there's a pill for this and a pill for that to take away the pain, but we're not supposed to go through life numbed out. We're supposed to feel things, because those feelings direct us and shape us and lead us to where we're meant to be. We're not supposed to be so numbed out. You know what I mean? Because when something causes you pain, that's a signal. Why is it causing me pain? It directs you to the why. And you're supposed to be directed to the why, because that's how you unravel the questions of life, by continuing to ask yourself the why. Why does this make me feel like this? Why does this trigger me? Why does this cause me pain? You know what I mean? And then you do the work in there to shore up those soft spots, so that you're not affected by pain every time it shows up. The goal is to recognize the pain, but to not get stuck in it. Let's see what's next. The relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship you will ever have. And that is the absolute truth. The relationship that you have with yourself is more important than any relationship you have on this planet. More important than the one that you have with your spouse, with your partner, with your parent, with your child. It is absolutely the most. I mean, think about it. You spend more time with yourself than you do with anybody else. Can you imagine being locked in a room with someone that you didn't like? Wouldn't you want to be locked in this constant relationship with someone that you loved and respected and enjoyed being with, like yourself? I mean, truthfully, I've gotten to the point in my life, and I'm so grateful for it, that I enjoy my own company so much. I have so much fun with myself, and it's just gotten to, I feel like it's gotten to the point where I'm good. I mean, if I lost people, I would absolutely miss them, but I would genuinely be good. The next one is, you can't have a peaceful life while you're still at war with yourself. And that really ties to the last one I was just talking about, because you do not want to wake up and go to bed every day with someone that you don't like. And especially if it's someone that disgusts you, someone that you're constantly hating on. If you constantly set yourself up for something and you're constantly letting yourself down because you don't understand your worth, then you are your own worst enemy. And spending time with your own worst enemy is like life's absolute torture. And that's the last thing that anyone wants to do. And that's precisely why self-love is so ultimately important, you guys. Number 9, until you heal the wound will continue to win. And that is, my God, so pivotal. And that's why personal healing is so important, because think about it. It's just like physical pain. Imagine the human form, a body gets shot and it's bleeding out. Nothing matters except that wound, right? Because that is just causing this ultimate urgent need to be fixed. And that's what emotional pain does, the exact same thing to you. It's just sad that we can't see it. It lives invisibly inside of us, but it is as insidious as can be and causes pain and destruction and necrosis of the spirit. And it is absolutely dangerous to your own personal well-being. That's why it is imperative to dive into those personal wounds and heal them so that then you can start living life from a different baseline. So you're not living life from the deficit of that wound. Like I say all the time, like I lived with an emotional ache for the first 40 years of my life. And it was that emotional ache when it finally, there was a tipping point in it. And when I hit that tipping point, that emotional ache got so bad. And that's when I turned to pills. And that's when that all happened for me. But the fact of the matter is once I healed that wound, I never needed another pain pill to quell that ache because I filled it up with self-love. So I didn't need anything. So oftentimes, I mean, not so oftentimes, every time that you're out of balance and an addiction happens, it comes from something like that. It comes from a wound that people are living in and a personal understanding that they have yet to step into, a personal value system, a personal just a level of self-worth. Because once you find that self-worth, it changes the axis of your life. It changes the way you see yourself. And once you change your identity and the way you see yourself, it changes the way you walk through the world. Okay, and number 10, you guys, is the setbacks are all just stepping stones in heavy disguise. And that is true. And that is why, you look at past relationships that you've had and they may not have worked out. But ultimately, all of those things, all of those failures, all of those everything lead you to exactly where you are meant to be. And when you have faith in your future and when you walk in that faith long enough, you come to understand that everything happens for a reason and everything happens when it's supposed to. Everyone comes into your life when they're supposed to. Every experience you have leads you to the next, and it truthfully is all leading you to your own awakening, to the awakening of your own worth. And that is the work of life. That is our curriculum. Our personal curriculum is to understand our own worth and share that wisdom with the world to help the people around us understand their own worth. Because with each healed heart, we help heal the world, and we create a fabric of healed hearts. And that is how we create a more peaceful, a more loving, a more interconnected world. And that truthfully is what it's all about. All right, everybody. Well, it is time for us to take a commercial break, but stay tuned because when we come back, it is time for Hello Caller with my darling Christy. I figure because it's my birthday, I get to spend it with my girl. So we're going to do reality check when we come back. Okay, everybody, we are back, and it is time to call our girl Christy. So let's get Chris on the phone. I'm so excited. I haven't talked to her in ages.
I'm ready. 52, baby.
52. Where does the time go? When you're having fun, it flies by, babe. Okay, so the show Vanderpump Rules starts out with Sandoval prepping for his super cool pool party, as Ariana called it.
Sexy singles. Sexy singles.
Sexy singles.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yes.
I know. So she is, Sandoval's getting ready for that. She's upstairs talking to little Miss Miserable, Katie Maloney, on the phone because Katie's about to go to lunch. I don't know if it was lunch or dinner, but to go
dinner with Lala. Yes.
Have dinner with Lala so that they can get back on the same page. But It seems to me like those two just aren't going to be on the same page because I feel like they're looking at life through two totally different lenses now.
Yeah, and they love to both go for the juggler when they fight. They fight.
Yeah, well, I think Lala is trying to show Katie that at some point you have to try to move through things, and that's like what she's trying to say, that she's even trying to finally move through things with Randall, and that you can't stay stuck on, I don't know what she called it, but she even said like she's I think she called it a warpath. She said, talking about Katie on her warpath, and that is
Yeah.
I mean, Katie is on a warpath.
So they called a truce, and that's good for now, you know.
For now.
But, yeah.
I mean, do you think, I mean, I think Katie is off her ass, quite frankly. I think Katie is just.
The only thing good about her is her hair. Her hair has never looked better, and that's it. She's a negative Nelly.
She is negative Nelly. She is low vibration, but I will say she is raising her style game a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is a good sign. It means you're at least heading in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. I think that Lala's in a growth mindset, and I think that Katie is just in that fixed mindset. And when Lala turned to the camera and said that that she used to be super tight with Katie when she was really going through it with Randall, I thought that was so telling, because I feel like that's what Katie does. She really kind of, you know, becomes an ally and gloms on to the scorned woman, because I think that's how she identifies herself.
Right. Yeah,
as
she thrives in that.
Yeah, she thrives in that. That is her identity. That is what she relates to. And I think that's a part she's been playing for a long time, and I don't think she's willing to give it up.
No, something,
because that would mean then that she'd have to take some fucking accountability for her own part in the big picture.
Yeah.
And she's not down for that. It's everybody else's fault.
Yeah. Exactly. So, okay, yeah, they called a truce, which is good. I get for that. Yeah, and then the pool party. Oh my God, those.
Yeah, so then we go back to the super cool pool party, or what'd you say she called it? Super sexy single.
Sexy singles party.
I think she was calling it all kinds of shit and just,
yes,
you know, casting a judgmental eye.
Of course.
So yeah, we go to the super cool pool party, where I thought it was funny. Tom said while he was in the pool having that awkward conversation with those two chicks. I mean, it was so cringe. It was just so cringe, but I did hear a little nugget in there, and it was Tom when he said, "I'll probably be married by next year." Because I think that Tom, in his heart of hearts, I think he was genuinely heartbroken about the Rachella thing, the Raquel, whatever we call her now. I think he was genuinely heartbroken about that, because I think he's a romantic at heart. I think he was genuinely in love with Ariana and wanted to marry her. I think he was really wanting to be on that train to the white picket fence with Ariana, but she really kind of, you know, put the kibosh on that, and he had to kind of reframe his thinking around that. And I think that was always kind of a compromise for him, because I think in his heart of hearts, that's what he wants. And I think then he saw that as a possibility with Rachel. Maybe I like that, Rachel. And and now I think he's just speaking the truth, because I think if someone comes and sweeps him off his feet and he could have that happily ever after, I think he'd jump at it.
Yeah, so hopefully the new girl that he's dating, which seems wonderful, he'll create what he'll bring what.
Yes, I don't know if she's wonderful, but I have it on good authority from someone that I think is wonderful, that she is wonderful. And guess what? It is one of those girls that I was just telling you about that was telling me how wonderful she is. So of course we trust her judgment, because she's from Gilroy. The morning after Tom's party, Sheena shows up. That's when the house was
for the dancing with the stars talk with Ariana.
Or the dancing with the stars talk, where she sits down. What did you think of that?
I think, well, first of all, when she was telling her how upset she was that she didn't get chosen for Dancing with the Stars, and they're such good friends, she said, why didn't you tell me first? And Ariana says, well, if we were such good friends, why are you off talking to Lala and everybody else instead of coming to me first? So, but she says they're not as close, right? So after the scandal, and then she goes into, Sheena says, well, what about in 20 years, if I'm friends with Sandoval, how are you going to take it?
Right.
Because it's what she wants.
It's absolutely what she wants. Kind of like she absolutely wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars this season. And I actually heard Sheena on another podcast on, I don't remember whose podcast it was, but I heard her on another podcast saying that she really had been kind of had preliminary talks with the Dancing with the Stars producers, and they had already expressed interest. So she had a reason to have her hopes up. And that's why she started. That's why she started with the dance lessons.
Dance class.
It's not like she was, just hallucinating it all.
Me, my eye.
Yeah, it wasn't all the me,
life.
my eye.
Yeah.
And it was, and then the fact that Scandival blew up, and then she got a call saying, since Scandival happened, I think they're going to go with Ariana, which, made sense. Of course it made sense.
Yeah.
No producer is going to choose Sheena over Ariana after what went down. I mean, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. She got everything.
So I kind of, I understand. And I kind of understand, I, as someone who has auditioned for shit before, I understand being happy for someone, but still bummed that you didn't get it. I think you can be be both of those things.
And I really believe she is.
Yeah, I do too.
See it in her, and when she says it,
yeah,
you can see in her eyes.
Yeah, totally. I think that Sheena wants all the good things for Ariana. I think she can want all the good things for Ariana and still wish that she was on Dancing with the Stars. That's all.
Exactly.
And then she does want to mend her relationship with Tom, because I mean, who in their right mind is going to end a years-long relationship with someone when historically they had never done anything to her? She says herself that he's only ever been wonderful to her.
Right.
He's only ever been wonderful to her.
No one else did. Exactly.
So he fucks up. He has one big fuck up, and she's supposed to turn her back on her lifelong friend who has been there for her in numerous different ways throughout the years. I just don't get it.
Yeah. It's gonna work.
And is she supposed to do that on behalf of someone else? Or are we not big kids that can maintain our own relationships and understand that everyone, has a different experience with someone?
Exactly.
And the fact that Ariana said, well, if you did that, I would just kind of look at you sideways, not like I'm not in a judgy way, just like in a, what'd she
warn
say?
You of danger, and warn you of
you're in danger, girl. You're in
Yeah.
danger, girl. And I'm thinking, you're in danger, girl. You're the same woman that was with him for 9 years. If he was all that dangerous, why the fuck would you have stayed with him that long?
And you're sleeping a foot away from him.
And you're still sleeping under the same roof after he was just such a, disaster.
Well, they're going to work their way back. It's great. Everybody's growing, and in all of Bravo, there's people they're doing the sobriety. People are becoming sober too, which makes you clearer.
Right.
As you drink your wine.
As I drink my wine. But it's so true. And I think it's important to test yourself with stuff like that. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I think going for a while without drinking just show yourself that you can, you know what I mean? And that you don't need to rely on something. And I think it's great. I think it's great to test your spirit, to, you know what I mean? Stretch it, bend it, and just kind of,
for sure.
That's growth.
It's happening all across the board in Bravo.
Yep.
So it's kind of also boring, but it's,
but it's good. And go ahead and test and come back. And if, it's all, life's not like this.
Yes. Okay. So then, it ends with also, the return of Jax,
Okay. Yes. Because then after that, hold on, I have these notes. Yes. Hold on. Before Jax, we go on a date with Joe and Schwartzy.
I love them.
And hold on, I even wrote this down. We go to his whittle happy place. That's what Schwartz called it. This is my whittle happy place.
And I was very surprised she had never been there because that's a funky, cool place. And she's a funky, cool girl.
100% a funky, cool girl. And truthfully, Schwartz even said when they brought Joe up at that next dinner, he said he really dropped a nugget. He said, I could probably marry her and be happy for the rest of my life.
Well, she even brought that up when they were at the other date when she said, well, what, the one thing also when the producers asked her, when's the last time you had sex? And she said about a month ago. And then when they went to Schwartz, he looks away and says, well, I don't know. He's a little Pinocchio, that one. He knew. And so then she asked him, I know you're not ready, but what about in 3 years or a year? What do you need? Because she's into him. They're very cute.
She's into him. And for some reason, I kind of feel like he needs somebody low maintenance like that. Yeah. I mean, Katie was.
She had the whip on him.
That was what you call a starter marriage. I hate that expression, but it was. You know what I mean? You learn, you grow, and it's all a lesson. And I think that Katie and Tom were just very big lessons in each other's lives.
Yeah.
And I think they're both going to be happier when they find someone who's a little more compatible with them.
For sure.
They, to me, always felt like it was trying to, fit the round knob into the square hole, and it just, or
marry
whatever.
Marry me, and then he gives her the ring.
Marry me, and then he gave her the
ring on the necklace.
The ring on the necklace.
Yeah.
I mean,
go Joe and Tom.
Go Joe and Tom. And then we go to that dinner where
Tom, the back room, and here's Jeff walking through the restaurant.
And what's so funny? I watched it a second time, and I saw a girl, like a patron. Did you see it? Oh,
I did. I saw it the first time. I saw it too. Yeah, so he came in hot because he came in
hot.
I'm Jax. God, he's such a ball of darkness.
It's so funny. Just when you thought that guy couldn't get any douchier, he did.
Yeah. And
he went and got even douchier.
Yeah, and jumped in the gene pool.
Poor which, sad to say. God, I mean, honestly, that girl is a saint.
Yeah.
She truthfully is a saint. And I think she genuinely has a heart of gold.
Oh, definitely. And she's
not enough self-worth, because if she had enough self-worth, she wouldn't be hanging out with that bozo. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a whole other deal. So yeah, I loved the segue after when he comes in and he loves that Tom.
He loves that he gets to just go at Tom
and judge.
And then Tom turned around and said to him, well, yeah, you've been doing enough shit talking about me. You should know. And then they cut to to Jax's podcast where they're just railing him over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
And Tom said something, and when I look back, I remember it's so true that Tom Sandoval was constantly covering for Jax.
And they showed clips.
He was constantly covering for Jax, and he really was. He was like bro code friend. All the way back then.
You're my bud. I gotcha.
100%.
Yeah.
But now when it's convenient, Jax is up on his morally superior high ground. Like, it's so
he loves to look down from his little valley.
From the valley. So speaking of the valley, what did you think?
It was a lot.
What did you, were you excited to watch? Was it what you expected?
I wasn't excited in the beginning with the first trailer, but the second trailer was like, oh my God. This is going to be great. So they start out with introducing all the couples.
Right.
Oh,
yes, we had Jesse and Michelle, Danny and Nia, Janet, Jason, Kristen and Luke. And then we have Jasmine and Zach, who are not a couple, but they're buddies. Oh,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Jasmine that used to work at Sir, I think, with them, and then Zach, who was originally
from Kentucky.
Exactly. Brittany's
So
friend.
the couple that well, let's talk about what is his name? The star, the movie star, and Miss America.
Jesse, right?
No, Jesse's the
Danny.
Danny.
Danny and Nia.
Yeah.
She's Miss America or former Miss Universe or something like that, right? She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
And they have 2 twins and a toddler.
Yes, and that's a lot. Then we got to watch all these kids also, which is
the kids are a lot.
Yeah. So I like them. They're sweet. He's a good husband.
He is a good husband.
We'll see.
2 under 3. 2 under. Oh no, 3 under 2. 3 under 2.
Yeah, that's a lot. The other couple, though, the realtors, Jesse and
they're apparently Splitsville, USA now.
Yeah, they're done now time because this was filmed in the summer. But first thing he's like, do you want to have, he's opening. Well, he's a boozer. He wants to open the champagne first thing in the morning.
She goes, are you going to drink champagne all day?
He goes, not all day. Yeah. And they're realtors and they have to be together all the time. And they just, they were awful. But he's as bad. He's like this with Jax for me.
100%. 100%. They're cut from the same cloth.
Exactly. He's
just like 2 sides of a, ugh.
Yeah.
I know.
And what about the other couple, the one that's pregnant, and it shows the very first scene?
Janet and Jason.
He's adorable.
And how hilarious the fact that she wrapped him in a melon.
Yeah.
And gave him big melon tits and then told him to try to stand up.
It's like to be pregnant.
I love that.
I liked them. And then did you see when he was proposing to her when she was in bed? She had just woken up or something. She's in her bed and he comes and proposes. So at first I thought, what? You're proposing in bed? But it's organic and it's not. I just thought it was so sweet. It wasn't a big.
I think it's so much better than being at a fucking ballpark or the Eiffel Tower or anything. I prefer
anything. It was.
I just don't. I'd be pissed. I've often said, and everyone that I've been with knows this about me. Like, don't put me in that position because it won't end well. It won't.
Yeah. I thought it was so sweet in the bed.
And nobody wants to have to perform when you're getting engaged to. Oh, you want to have to perform? You want people around you that you have to like, no, I don't.
Walking down the path, seeing the candles.
God help me.
Kristen recorded that. So that was sweet.
Well,
I like it.
That's I don't know. I honestly, the thought of it just causes me stress.
Yeah.
Well, it's so high pressure.
And so what do you think of Kristen?
So yeah, our girl Kristen recorded that. She is such a romantic at heart. She truthfully is. They love all that shit. I'm just the opposite. But Kristen and what's his name? Luke. Yeah. Luke seems like a sweet guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think it's a little bizarre that they're at this point only going to live together if she gets pregnant. I kind of feel like you should be into a person at least to the point where you want to be living with them, like regardless.
Yeah.
Of whether you're pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you move in with someone pregnant and then it's like the pressure's even, you should kind of know if your foundation works without the obligation of a pregnancy to accompany it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But and then Jax was giving
Jax can't take it.
Jax can't take it. Well, I think he hasn't seen Kristen in that way, in a way that he sees that she could maybe be ready to be a mom. But what people don't understand is sometimes people aren't ready until it actually happens to them. You know what I mean? Sometimes the process alone prepares you for it. No one's ever ready.
You do it. But he's horrible to poor Luke. He's horrible to him.
He's horrible.
He said, Luke says, am I unblocked on social
I know.
media?
Well, I don't know. Go check it out and let me know.
Yeah, and he says, I'm just giving you tough love. yeah, giving tough love, but you can't take the tough love. If anyone says one word to you, you just go crazy.
Freak the fuck out.
Tough.
Freak the fuck out. That is the truth, and that is absolutely, because that's Jax. He's so hypersensitive that he can say whatever he wants, but anyone says anything to him, and it's
no.
Yeah. How fucking dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but so, I love it. But in that closing scene of that show of the Valley, I looked at Jax and I just thought, here you are. Jax is ready to carry this show on his back if he needs to. Well, he is like, you can just see it in his face. He is hell-bent on making this show a go. And that is why he went and pulled that dude's pants down.
Yeah.
That is why he went and pulled dude's pants down. And I got to tell you, as inappropriate as it was, and it was inappropriate, I had to laugh at Jax's commitment to creating drama. Chaos, exactly. Yeah. But then also, am I hallucinating? I mean, I think she's wonderful and great, but why the fuck what was she crying about? Was it worth?
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
What are we crying about? Also, you know what it makes me think?
We're leaving.
And that maybe she's terrified that everyone saw his, maybe.
And nobody did.
Maybe he has a little willy. Maybe. I don't know. No, maybe he has a little willy and she's afraid that the whole world's going to see it. And maybe national television.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be funny to see her unfold because she's so the nice and beautiful and Snow White, right? We're going to see Snow White.
Fully.
Yeah.
But also it is like, why the cry?
Yeah, it was right.
I don't understand.
I know.
Like, am I crazy? I would have probably just laughed at that.
No, they left. They had to get her sister because remember the sister was there watching the kids in the other room. I was like, we're leaving.
Yeah, we're leaving. But they were on their way out before that even happened.
Yeah. I'm loving the crossover though with Lala and Sheena coming and Brock.
I loved it. And did you notice how smart those guys are? They've been around the block. They know not to bring their kids. Neither one of them brought their kids to that party. They're like, we're smarter than that. We're going to have a party. We're going to have some fun. Leave the kids at home. But I loved having them there too.
Yeah, I love the crossover.
And it is great because it's almost like Vanderpump and a half that way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like at this point, Jax to me is so far removed from Vanderpump Rules that it's almost like, I think it's important to have those two there, Sheena and Brock, actually, the three of them, and Lala, because it creates a stronger bridge. Okay, it's time for a quick break, but stay tuned because when we come back, we're going to bridge our way from the West Coast to the East Coast and talk Summer House. Stay tuned. Okay, we're back, and it's time to go to
the Hamptons.
Let's cross over to the Hamptons, exactly, and talk Summer House, because I got to tell you, I love Summer House.
I love Summer House.
And maybe because they're a little bit older and that could be it, but I love it. I love the cast of characters. I love how different they all are.
They come on the weekends and they cook and party it up and have fun and then go home.
Right.
I love it.
I love it
too.
Except what I don't understand is why do they wake up every time and have to pick up that mess? By this point, can't someone cover a service to come in the morning? And like, you know what I mean?
Right,
like if you're going to party all night,
exactly.
Be a professional and have a professional there in the morning before you even wake up. And then quite frankly, not only should they have the whole place cleaned up, but maybe breakfast ready.
Yeah, get even smarter.
Hello? Every morning when I see them wake up to a mess, I'm just so perplexed. I'm like, why?
Yeah, you're not in high school cleaning.
We're not in high school anymore. Yeah. This isn't a fucking frat party. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You are grown adults with actual working wages. I know they can afford it. At least some of them.
So the one thing that I've been noticing in this Carl and Lindsay thing is the first 2 episodes or so, her and Carl have been fighting in the car. And we don't get to see that, so we don't know what he's telling her in the car.
I think they fight constantly.
Oh, that's all they
constantly.
That's all they do. But the car rides, we get to see car rides for everything. Below deck, the housewives. Why aren't we seeing what Carl's telling her in the car is what I don't understand.
So you're saying they're not mic'd in the car?
No, we don't even see them in the car. That's
and those rides, you hear them talk about, oh, well, the ride out to so-and-so, it's an hour and a half ride. They talk about it all the time.
They could show a little bit of it because she's saying in the car, you did this and da-da-da. We didn't get to see it. But
really good point.
Right? They're just because we see, because now I was choosing Carl's side because I'm like, what is Lindsay doing? But now it's like they're both horrible.
Well, quite frankly, I don't think they ever should have been engaged to begin with.
No.
I think he was looking for stability. You know what I mean? She was looking for a husband.
Exactly.
They had a lot of love between them, but that's having a lot of love between you does not a marriage make.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. So well, we know how it ends, but watching them fight it out is like, oh my God.
I know.
But the one good thing is the other little relationship that's starting.
Oh, okay. Before we get to my happily ever after, which I'm dreaming of, what about Kyle and Amanda? How do you think they're doing? Do you think they're gonna make it?
I don't. I think, well, this episode.
Do you think she's gonna get pregnant?
Oh, do you?
There's a side of me that I really love the way she lets him be his kind of.
I love him.
Bloody self.
Yeah, same. I do too.
I really do. I just feel like I hope they can work out the other shit. And, I think there's a lot of dress rehearsing tragedy. I think it's kind of a little bit like, you can't say, oh, just because you don't behave like X, Y, and Z now, you're not gonna, do everything you need to do once you become pregnant and have a baby. Because it's like we just said, people change. When you have a baby, another side of you steps up, a whole nother part of you is born. And
because she's just thinking he's going to be the same when the baby's here. Well,
and he's thinking the same about her, that, oh, she's wants to lay in bed all day or whatever, and that she's not going to be an active participant. But I think they're both ready, and I think if it happens, they'll see that everything will be fine. I think they're just all caught in their head about it.
She wants to move to New Jersey now
because she wants to be a mom and start a family. And he's like, I don't know if she's ready. I don't think she's ready. She's like, I don't think you're ready. And that's why you're saying that.
Yeah. So we'll see with them. I love Kyle.
I mean, they almost didn't get married. I mean, they were so on and off right before they got married. Right. That was like a miracle that wedding went through.
Right.
So I'm sure they're both really relating to the whole other wedding being called off. They're like, we made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry you guys couldn't keep up, but better now than later.
And Paige and Craig. Craigie, I love Craigie. He hasn't had hard alcohol since last year. He's only drinking beer. Did you see his body?
He looks great.
He looks great.
He looks so great. Yeah, and I think they are great together. And I think I love Paige. I absolutely love Paige. I think she is a superstar.
She's adorable.
I don't know. There's something about her whole attitude. I love her. I really love her.
I do too.
And I don't think that she is I think she's totally for marriage. She's just not in a rush. You know what I mean? And I think it's kind of nice, the fact that she has grown Craig, because I think Craig was kind of trapped in that, oh, we got to get married next and that whole mental construct of how it's supposed to look.
And he's learning too.
Yeah. And because of her, she's like, slow your roll, dude.
He is.
And I think now he's to the point where he's like, okay, we're good. And if we make it, we make it. If we don't, we don't. But
and it's fine either way.
And it's fine
right.
either way. And
Yeah.
in the meantime, they're having a beautiful, healthy, loving relationship. And I think they adore each other. And I fully here for them.
Same.
Who else are we missing aside from?
So there's the one who's the new guy, the tall guy, Jesse. Is his name Jesse?
Oh, Jesse, the guy with the concave,
and the smile.
Yeah, who is picking up on Paige.
On Paige, yeah. So he said, right, he was touching her leg and da. So he was saying before he met Craig, oh, I can't wait to meet Craig. We'll see if he's stable in their relationship, if he reacts to Jesse. And then he met Craig, and it was like, oh, no one could hold a flame to Craig.
Exactly. And I heard Paige talking about the fact that Paige was annoyed. She was like annoyed that Craig that he didn't get jealous. She's like, but I mean, it's a sign of his own emotional health and a sign of his own security within himself and his relationship. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, truthfully, that's the ultimate turn on. Someone that's not going to be a jealous lunatic, because God knows there's nothing worse.
Yes.
You want to kill a relationship? That's how you do it.
Exactly.
That is exactly how you do it.
Wes and Sierra.
Sierra.
They're so cute.
Wes and Sierra. Okay. True. Sitting in a tree.
Yeah.
I am here for those two.
They're snuggling. They're adorable.
About on that first date with her, and he was just sweating.
I know.
Profusely.
And they're joking about it as he's doing,
and joking about it.
Instead of him just living in his fear alone, they got to say, they're great. I mean, so great. And the way she smiles looking at him, and they're like beaming at each other. I feel like, truthfully, the two of them are the most organic connection I've ever seen in the summer house ever. Yeah. Ever. Yeah.
Ever.
I hope she can do it. Just do it, Sierra. It's her. He's all ready. It's Sierra.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, do we know that for sure, though? Do you have information?
Well, I follow him on Instagram, and I just saw him in Cabo. But it could be his friend's birthday, girls' birthdays and whatnot. So I just saw him.
Was he kissing another girl?
No. So right. Maybe he's away with his friends. I don't know. I don't see Sierra.
I mean, it could be his cousin, for the love of God.
I don't see Sierra in the Instagram. So, but maybe she's modeling.
Maybe she had to work.
Nursing gig.
Nursing. She is a responsible girl, so I'm sure she would.
Hopefully she'll be
doing what she was supposed to be doing, and not out in Mexico,
in Cabo, right?
Partying it up when she was supposed to be home handling business.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I love it. If those two fall apart, I might be a little crushed, because I have a crush on that relationship. I think they are just adorable.
Yes.
I haven't seen her. I've never seen her this happy. And she's just like, did you see her sitting on his lap just so carefree? Do you remember when she was with that idiot Austin? It was just the opposite.
She had to run around going crazy looking at him with Lindsay and
it was just so gross.
She grew.
Awful.
She grew.
No. So Sierra and West, I think their names even go together, right?
For sure.
Sierra and West, come on.
Yes.
I feel like they're gonna live in California, right at like the base of Yosemite or something.
Yeah. And live at the Awani. Yeah.
Exactly. I love it. Sweetheart, I have loved doing this reality check with you.
I love you.
Thank you so much for being here. We will talk again soon.
Looking forward to next time. Happy birthday weekend.
Okay, thank you. I love you. Okay, everybody, that about does it for this episode of Generally Speaking. But before we leave, I just want to take a second to address the news that came out today. For the last couple weeks on the pod, I have been musing about what is wrong with Kate Middleton, just like the rest of the world. And today we found out that she is indeed battling cancer. And I just want to send all of my love and best wishes to her and her family. And God knows that it is a trying time when a diagnosis like that comes down. I remember it well when I was younger and my mom was diagnosed, and it is terrifying and it is scary, and I just wish them all the best. I also want to remind you guys about the fact that we are going to be starting in a few weeks a weekly reality check over on Patreon. So if you want to become part of that community and get to join me for an hour once a week, we're going to talk about all kinds of things. You're going to get to pose questions, theories. We're just really going to get into it. So if you're interested in joining, I will leave the link down below. Please give the pod a 5-star rating. Give us a follow. Tell your friends. Tell your family. We would love it if you did. You can reach me at on Instagram at the Jennifer Snook. You can find me on TikTok at This Is Generally Speaking. And if you have any questions or you want to collaborate, you can reach out to me at jennifer@jennifersnook.com. All right, everybody, I've loved spending this time with you. I hope you are doing well. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I want to say a huge thank you to my girl, Christy. And until we are together again, stay rooted in love. Take care, everybody.